Hi, this is Mrs. Robertson, and it's Monday morning, the last day of February, the 28th, and we are reviewing again to help us get ready for our math test. The math test is on Wednesday, and we are going to do a great job. We're going to practice this again tomorrow, but I want to make sure you do everything like I do, or you have things all written down to help you be successful on your test, which will be given Wednesday. All right, surface area. Surface it's an area, so your answer is going to have a little 2 on it. So it's the final answer. I'm just going to draw my answer blank here. Is going to be centimeters squared for my surface area answer. Now, to do surface area, what must we do for each face? Yes. Find the area of each face. And in a rectangular prism, they each have a match. The top matches the bottom. The right side matches the left side. The front matches the back. So you're always going to have pairs. So here we have a net. Let's find the area of each face and then add them together. Well, if you don't know what numbers to use, trace it. There's no number on that, but this is 2. That's the same as this side, so it's 3. 3 times 2 is 6, and there's its match. 3 times 2 is 6. I have numbers on this side, so I'm going to do this side next. 6 by 3. 6 times 3 is 18. Well, it's easy to see its match. This is also going to be an 18, right, kids? This one. 2 by 6, because that's the same as this side. 2 times 6 is 12. Now we add them together. And kids, if we're allowed to give you the test on paper, show your work. If you don't have the test on paper, I'm going to give you a piece of paper, show all this work, so in my Skyward grade, I can give you partial credit. In Mastery Connect, it won't show up as partial credit, but when I put it in the grade book, if you show me work, I can add points. Do you understand? So make sure you do that. So now I have 2 6s, 2 12s, and 2 18s. 12, 24, 36, and yes, I think you'll be allowed to use a calculator on the test. But you know, even with the calculator, it's easy to make a mistake. 72 centimeters squared. How many of you had that for your answer? Great. Do you see how to get your points for this? Make sure your label is there too. Area is centimeters squared. Number 2, find the volume and surface area. Show all work. Here they want us to do volume first, and it says volume formula. Kids, you write down volume equals what? Length times width times height. Now, substitute means we substitute. We don't have the V, but we know, I'm going to say this is length, that's height, and this is width. If you put them in a different order, that's okay. You will not get points counted off. So it's 8 times 6 25 times 7 5/10. And my answer, when you multiply those out, what did you get? It came out perfect? Yeah. 375? Oh, wow. 375. Now you also will get a point for the label. It is volume. What are volume answers? Cubed. It's 3D. It's a 3-dimensional shape, so it's inches cubed. Everyone have all of that written down. Very good. Now it wants to do surface area. Show adding all the faces. Well, I'm just going to write down what my faces are. I have the top and the bottom, the front and the back, the left and the right side. Okay? So I'm going to have to add those all together. My top is 7.5 times, this line is what? 8. So 7.5 times 8, and there are 2 of them. 60. So I write 60 down twice because the bottom, the top, and the bottom, there's the bottom, are the same. Now I'm going to do the front and the back. This is the front and that is the back. Well, the numbers are on the back. It's 7.5 times 6.25. 7.25 times 6.25. Do you see how I got those numbers? Remember, trace over it. It helps you to see things better. What did you get when you multiplied those? Did you get 46 point something? What did you get? 46.875. That's the same thing that I have. And how many of them are there? 2. The front and the back are the same. Now I have my left and my right side. Well, once again, I'm going to trace it. It is 8 by 6.25. 8 by 6.25. And in the calculator, 8 times 6.25 equals 50. And how many of those do we have? 2. The left and the right side. Does it make sense to all of you? Do you see how to do this? If you don't understand, you can always draw a net, but sometimes it's easier not to draw the net, okay? Now we add them together. All right, so did you get 313.75? Good, that's what I have. So when I add them all together, I'm just going to put my answer here. It's 313.75. Now, this is an easy one for you to make a mistake, and I wouldn't be able to give you any points for your answer. But if you showed all of this, I could give you points for doing stuff right. You got it? Now, Mrs. Robertson would lose a point right now because what do I still have to put in? The label. And for surface area, what will my answer be? All right. Notice how Mrs. Robertson underlines the word area. So if it's a paper test tomorrow, Wednesday, underline things to help you to remember. That's what I have to do. It's not hard. All right. Any questions on that? You're doing a great job. Now in number 3, find the unknowns for the following rectangular prisms. So for A, we don't have a picture. For A, they tell us this is the volume, this is the length, this is the width, what is the height? The height is our mystery. And this picture goes with B. Step 1, volume formula. Volume equals length times width times height. Okay, you'd get a point if you could do that on last year's test. Substitute. Under the V, what am I going to put? Volume is 189, so you put 189 under the V. Under the L, what am I going to put? 9. Under the W, what am I going to put? All right, and the H is just going to stay an H. It's a mystery. Can everyone do that? That's not hard. You can all substitute, can't you? Now we're going to combine like terms. We are going to take 9 times 7 is what? So I have 189 equals 63 times H. Now that's not my answer. We're just doing our work. What's the opposite of multiplying by 63? Divide both sides by 63, and 189 divided by 63 is what? 3 equals the height. And it's going to be 3 what? Meters. It's M for meters. So the answer, I'll do it in blue, is 3 meters. What is the height? 3 meters. Any questions? Is that hard, especially when you get to use a calculator? No, it is not. Nice job. B is the same thing. except instead of telling us, they have a picture of it, okay? Volume formula. Volume equals length times width times height. Now we're going to substitute. This says V is 39.48. Ooh, we don't know the length, do we? So L is going to stay in L. My width is 1, and my height is 8.4, right, kids? Now, I do parentheses instead of dots because sometimes the dot looks like a decimal, okay? Someone said, Mrs. Robertson, why don't you put the dots? And that's why, because sometimes you get them confused. Now, I have to combine like terms. So 39.48, but this is really easy. What's 1 times 8.4? Yeah. Now, what's my next step? What do I do now to find L? What do we do? What is left to do? Divide. We just divide both sides by 8 4/10. And you have a calculator. 39.48 divided by 8 4/10. What do you get? 4.7 meters equals the length. So the length is 4.7 meters. Any questions, kids? So if you wanted to go back and check your answer, does 1 times 4.7 times 8.4 equal 39.48? It will. Okay. Any questions on the front page of this paper? Are you pretty good with it? Fabulous. Let's go to the back side of this worksheet. A box is in the shape of a rectangular prism. Well, I'm just going to draw me a box. Sometimes it just helps to understand things. Okay. The length is 9. The width is 7, and the height is 4. What is the surface area? Draw a net and find the surface area. Well, we have to draw a net. I'm going to start with the top. The top is 9 by 7. So I'm going to go over 9 by 7. Make that a little bit longer. That's the top. Then I'm going to do the front. This is what? That would be a 4. 4 by 9. So this is a 4 by 9. 4. And all of these are going to be 9s, right? Then I've got the bottom. The bottom is just like the top, right? It's going to match the top. 9 by 7. That's the bottom. Then I have the back. That's the back right there. And it is 4 by 9. Well, we know it's 9. And I put a 4. Any questions on that? Does everyone have a net drawn? Now I do my sides. Okay, my sides are attached to the 4. And it's 4 by 7. Okay? So there's the 4. And I'm going to draw the 7. Now, will that match this 7? Does this match that? Yes. Does this match that? Yes. So I'm making my net correctly. Because when I fold it up, it's got to match. This is a 4, 7, 7. This 7 matches that 7. This 7 matches that 7. So you see when you fold it, it'll match? Well, I've got my net. Now let's find the area of each shape. 9 times 7 is 63. The top is 63 and the bottom is 63. Carter, I don't see your net. In fact, are you working on this paper? Carter, where's your net? Oh, I was looking at the other one. Okay, sorry. And then this one is 9 times 4 is 36. And the back is 36. Does everyone have that? Then I just have my wings. the sides. 4 times 7 is what, class? 28. And this side is 28. Now we just add them together. I have 2 63s, 2 36s, and 2 28s. Add them all together. Well, that's 126. That will give me 72, and this is 56. Then when I add them together, carry a 1, 15, carry a 1. Did you get 254 for the surface area? Now, I still am missing a point. If this were on the test, what else does Mrs. Robertson have to put down? And what's the label? Inches squared. Because I'm finding area, we're measuring flat squares. Okay? And we would use surface area if we were painting walls or trying to get paper to cover a package, those types of things. Now, the volume is really pretty easy. Volume equals length times width times height. So it will be 9 times 7 times 4. And that equals, did you get 252? And what's my label? Inches cubed. All right. Now, if it's just a straight line, it's inches. If it's area, it's inches squared. Volume is inches cubed. Find the volume of the rectangular prism. Volume equals formula, length times width times height. I'm going to say length, width, and height. 10 times 6 times 7. 420 millimeters what? Squared. Any questions? Oh, it's not squared, is it? Cubed, yes. Cubed, it's volume. Now, what is the volume if the prism is half full? Well, half means you just divide it by 2, right? If something's half. So 420 divided by 2 is 210 millimeters cubed. Does everyone see how I got that? 2 goes into 4 2 times, subtract, bring down, it goes into it once, subtract, bring down, and it's not 21, but 210. If the prism is 2/3 full, for 2/3 you take the original answer. This will be 420 over 1 times 2 over 3. Now kids, if you have a calculator, you can just take 420 times 2 and divide it by 3. So that would be 840 divided by 3. And 840 divided by 3, what do you get? 280 millimeters cubed. That makes sense. It's less than 420. The whole box is 420. Half the box is 210, so 2/3 is more than a half, so that makes sense. If it's 1/3 full, well, you're going to take 420 over 1 times 1/3, and you just divide it by 3. 420 divided by 3 equals, well, let's just show our work down here. You can use a calculator, though. It's not 14, but 140. So 1/3 full, that doesn't make sense. 140 millimeters cubed. Well, half full is this. Oh, that's not a 3, is it? It's a 5. Well, this is for 1/3 full. 1/3 is 140. I didn't notice that was a 5. So let's just do that over here. We have our original 420 over 1 times 1/5. So it's 420 divided by 5. And what do you get? 5 goes into 42 8 times. Did you get 84? That's right. 84 millimeters cubed for 1/5. Now, kids, make sure you look carefully at these problems. See how easy it is sometimes for a 5 to look like a 3? Now, number 6. What is the surface area of the prism in number 5? Well, that's not hard. Surface area, we have to find the area of the top, the bottom, the front, the back, the left, and the right side. You all know that, right, kids? So to find the surface area, write that down. Top, bottom, front, back, left, right. Now, if I go and look at this shape, let me make this just so we can see the whole thing there. Yeah, the top is 6 by 10. 6 by 10 because it matches the bottom. 6 by 10. 6 times 10 is 60, and the bottom is also 60, right? Now I'm going to trace the front of the box. 7 by 10. The front is 7 by 10. And that equals 70. How many of those do I have? 2 of them. Then I've got my right and my left side. Well, the right and the left side, it's going to be 6 by 7. 6 by 7. Do you see how I got those numbers? Good. 6 times 7 is 42. And I have 2 of them, right? Now let's add them together. 120 plus 140 plus 84. And when I add those all together, let's see, that is 260 plus 84. Did you get 344 for the answer on that one? 344 millimeters what? Squared. Now, number 7. How many faces does a rectangular prism have, kids? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's always 6 because they have a match. Unless you're finding the surface area of a box with the top cut off, then that stays open. All right, any questions on that? Okay, well those are all things that are going to be on your test, and I think that you'll do a nice job on them. Let's talk about what we're going to do next. I have to pass out your golden tickets now, so let me do that.